Hello, so today we are going to discuss Impact Class 3. So already two classes have been done. If you have not attended those two sessions, first you attend those two sessions also. There actually we have discussed about the first session directive words and the second section 5 previous years questions from the GS paper 2 I have discussed. So in today also we are discuss around 5 to 6 questions from the GS paper 2, but here what I am going to tell you, one pattern I have found, and with that pattern you can answer some of the questions. So one universal trick basically to answer questions basically on those questions where it is related to the bodies, that is parliament bodies or constitutional bodies or statutory bodies etc. in the UPSC means question. For example, any question is coming about the parliamentary committees, any question is coming about the CAG local bodies, or for example any other bodies. So in such type of questions you can follow the same pattern in answering that question. It will be easy for you. So we are going to discuss that part only. So for example, write an answer on any governmental bodies like parliament, like election commission, UPSC, Niti Aayog. In every such questions you can answer easily by this two methods I am going to provide you. You can have any methods. For example, so first method that I am having regarding this, like Ficky formula also you can call it. Okay, so for any particular question, what you have to follow here it is कि this formula F for fundamental उस question के मतलब like parliament has whatever the fundamental about the parliament, like CAG whatever the fundamental core is, this content you are aware about the that body. E for importance of that body, C for challenge faces by this body, another C for changes that needed, and I for what improvement you can do it. So these are the some important things you have to follow. For example, like example is introduction, define the constitutional literature. Like example, what is that body is in introduction, what you can write it, what is the body is, the definition, any article, any act under which it is established, is it a constitutional, a statutory or executive body. That part we have to write. Matlab in the intro part, first we have to write about this only if any question is about any body. Next is about the functions and the role, और इसको बोलते हैं importance. Importance क्या होगा, whatever the functions and the role of that particular body is, like what are its major functions are, like what is the major functions Election Commission of India is having or CAG is having, how does it impact governance or policy making, examples of its role in key national issues. We will cover with examples, don't worry. Next thing that you can discuss about the challenges and the issues, like for example, what the problems does it face, any structural problem, any functional problem, political interference, any funding issue, any independence, anything, that also you can discuss about that body. Next is what reform or changes that is needed. That means what changes can improve its effectiveness, like legal amendments, more autonomy, better funding. These parts you can discuss. Clear? Next is, for example, conclusion. Mein what you can write over here? If come to the conclusion now. So for the conclusion, summarize its significance and suggest balanced approach. अब इसको हम अप्लाई करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई वांट टू अप्लाइंग द ट्रिक टू डिफरेंट बॉडीज. सो हियर वन important example I am taking, how does the parliament system ensure checks and balance in Indian democracy. Suppose example if one question is there, how does parliamentary system ensure checks and balance in the Indian democracy. So first important thing, this question is all about the body, that is parliamentary body, parliament. Basically parliamentary system in the sense it is about the parliament, it is about the state legislature. So वही फार्मूला लगाना है. What is FIC की फार्मूला you can use under it. Okay, so what you can do it here, like introduction में you can write parliament is supreme legislative body under article number 79 to 122. It ensures democracy through separation of power and accountability mechanism. तो ये हो गया उसका फंडामेंटल, what is the all about it. Then I told you what are the functions, like legislative functions like enacting the law. नेक्स्ट फंक्शंस क्या होगा उसका, फॉर एग्जांपल इस पर्टिकुलर बॉडी का एग्जीक्यूटिव कंट्रोल. जस्ट आई एम गिविंग यू दिस एग्जांपल. नेक्स्ट फंक्शन दैट यू कैन राइट, व्हाट इज द एग्जीक्यूटिव कंट्रोल, लाइक थ्रू क्वेश्चंस हावर्थ, नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन, फाइनेंशियल ओवरसाइट, थ्रू बजट अप्रूवल, जुडिशियल रोल, थ्रू impeachment power. Impeachment power in the sense like for example judges impeachment power, president, even vice president to removal, that is done by. And same for example come to the like example election commission, that is chief election commissioner, uska bhi CAG, that is all done by this judicial role. Challenges kya honge uske? Disruptions and declining productivity, that challenge parliamentary system is facing. Lack of inner party democracy, executive dominance, these are the some challenges that faced by the parliament or state legislature. Disruptions and declining productivity, lack of inner party democracy and executive dominance. अब आपको नेक्स्ट क्या करना है? रिफॉर्म. रिफॉर्म क्या करना है? एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ रिफॉर्म. दैट इज मेन प्रॉब्लम इज जो MPs and member of parliaments, they are not able to speak whatever they want because of this issue of anti defection law. Because this anti-defection law need to be applied only in few cases. That means whenever there is a requirement regarding the stability or disability of the government, like no confidence motion, during that time only we have to utilize. But we utilize anti-defection law in each and every bill case also. Then strengthening parliamentary committees. जो important parliamentary committees basically उनका जो role है that need to be in strengthened. Conclusion में क्या है? Strong parliament is equal to strong democracy. So reform needed for efficiency. See this type of questions like parliamentary system, if you just copy paste this in your note, जो भी हमने बताया है ना, any question that is coming related to the parliament, any question that is related to the parliamentary committees, you can answer easily just by copy pasting this information only. Whatever information I told you, if you write in this manner itself, you will get. For example, if question is about 10 marker, definitely with this same content you can get around 6 marks. If question is about 15 marker, then by this content you can get for example 8 to 9 marks also. That is the reality about it. Because this way you, if you are answering that, your answer jo hai na, that is having a similar logical coherence. एक फ्लो जो है ना, दैट लॉजिकल फ्लो इज, ऐसा नहीं है कि first you started about some reform, then you are talking about weakness, then you're talking about strength. As not this way we are answering over here. We will going to check this all information through various answers. One more strategy I am having, if you are not able to remember that particular strategy, one strategy इसको बोलते हैं PARC strategy. क्या strategy है? That strategy is PARC. What is this strategy is all about? So PS strategy basically it is a structured approach है to writing a well organized and impactful answer, specifically किस, for governance, if any question is about the governance, for polity and institutional questions like question about parliament, like CAG, like constitutional bodies. That means if any question that is related to the functioning of parliament, related to the CAG, constitutional bodies like election commission of India, even for other bodies like local bodies, lok adalat, like even judiciary also, you can answer in this format only. So what is this PARC stand for? See, P for the purpose. That means you have to define the purpose of that body. First, what you have to do? Define the purpose. That means you have to define in the context. Like example, parliament है या CAG है. So what is the purpose of the CAG? Is context क्या है CAG का? That you have to define. That is P. Another is A. A for होता है कि what is authority and function that particular body is having. That means legal basis you can यूटिलाइज दोन कि लॉ ने उसको पावर दिया है. एनी आर्टिकल दैट इज एसोसिएटेड विद दैट बॉडी, दैट आर्टिकल इज प्रोवाइडेड सम फंक्शन और सम अथॉरिटी टू दैट बॉडी, और एनी रोल, क्या रोल है उस बॉडी का, दैट इज सेकेंड पार्ट. सो फर्स्ट पार्ट क्या है? यू हैव टू टेल अबाउट द पर्पस और द डेफिनेशन, एंड सेकेंड पार्ट इज फंक्शन. And next is R. R for the relevance and challenges. That means whatever the relevance of that particular body and what the challenges. That means you can offer some current issues, some importance in the current environment, what is the relevance of that body is. And C for conclusion and the way forward. That means you have to tell the solution and suggestions. So now I think it is very clear now. First P for purpose, and second for example is authority. That is A. Authority means functions, authority means okay, and R for relevance and challenges, and then reform and conclusion way forward you can write, and you can get easily the answer. This second one that I told you, this also you can note down in your class notes. So ये अगर आप follow करोगे, see this particular sessions I am taking अभी जो ले रहे हैं, this is not about just answer writing in the sense like एक question है और model answer आपको मिल जाएगा. With this way you cannot learn. Basically I just want to teach you कि any question is coming, तो some tricks हम आपको देंगे कि some if this type of question is coming then you have to apply this particular trick, and another type of question is coming then you can apply that different trick. So in this way in the next 30 to 35 classes we are going to learn around more than 20 to 25 tricks. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि I am going to tell you 100 tricks, then it is very difficult to remember those 100 tricks also. तो वो सारी चीज हम लोग लर्न करेंगे. तो फर्स्ट ट्रिक जो था वो फिक्की ट्रिक था, दैट आल्सो यू कैन ऐड. एंड सेकंड ट्रिक इज PARC, दैट इज पार्स स्ट्रेटजी फॉर UPSC मेंस आंसर. अब इसका फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर गोइंग टू एप्लीकेशन पार्ट देखेंगे कि whether we can apply these tricks in the question that has been asked in the UPSC previous years mains or not. अगर हम अप्लाई ही नहीं कर पाएंगे then there is no logic of such tricks. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो आया था वो ये है, टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट इन योर व्यू द पार्लियामेंट इज एबल टू इंश्योर अकाउंटेबिलिटी ऑफ द एग्जीक्यूटिव इन इंडिया. क्वेश्चन आपको समझ में आ गया. जो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है इट इज अबाउट टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट. टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट, सी इफ एनी क्वेश्चन इफ यू आर गेटिंग दिस टर्म लाइक टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट, इसका simple meaning is this: to what extent means at least to certain extent parliament has done some good work, but rest of the area parliament has faced some major issues. So इसमें लिखा है to what extent. To what extent in the sense some weaknesses will be there and some strengths will be there. You have to follow both here. So to what extent in your view parliament is able to, so कौन सी बॉडी आ गई यहाँ पे, parliament is able to ensure accountability of the executive in India. तो यहाँ पे देखो three important thing: to what extent, then parliament, and then accountability of the executive. So one part this, second part this, and third is this. So first part से क्या decide हो रहा है, to what extent means parliament strength and weakness. Then second is किसका है, body क्या है, that is parliament. So यहाँ पे जो PARC strategy और FICCI strategy that we have to apply on this particular body only. किस body पे, parliament is a body. And then context क्या है, accountability of the executive in India. So see यहाँ पे जो directive order to what extent, it means it require a balanced analysis, means both strength and weakness you have to define. Clear है. तो in any of the questions if you are getting to what extent, तो आपको simple समझना है कि you have to have a require balanced analysis जिसमें both strength and weakness we need to discuss. And then core theme इसकी क्या है, how parliament hold executive accountable in India. Executive accountable means council of minister, जो ministers होते हैं, prime ministers, other ministers, how parliament holds them accountable. जैसे for example आप कैसे accountable करते हैं, simple है, like council, like article number 75 देखा है, article number से all council of ministers shall be responsible to the Lok Sabha, through that also. Then question hour is there, correct or not, question hour यहाँ पे है, through that also parliament. Through budget actually parliament holds them accountable, or for example through various parliamentary committees, उसके माध्यम से with the help of that parliament make executive accountable. लेकिन again मैंने बोला ना, this is about the positive. What about the negative? We will discuss that also. And what is the word limit is 150 words. I told you starting में 150 word 10 marker is there. इस 150 words को how much time you have to take? Normally आपको कितना टाइम लेना है, फॉर एग्जांपल 7 minutes. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आर टेकिंग 1 minute to think and 6 minutes to write, यहाँ पे you can take 2 minutes to think. कितना, 2 minutes to think and 6 minutes to write. So total is 8 minute time you are going to take right now. But I told you after some point of time you have to decrease this time only. So word limit कितना, 150. Answer must be concise and well structured because it is not about the 250 words. So अभी ये जो क्वेश्चन है जो आया था, क्या आया था, दिस क्वेश्चन वाज आस्क्ड इन UPSC GS पेपर 2 in 2021. तो अब now if you read again this question number that one today I am going to discuss is, it looks easy now. अभी ये और इजी लगेगा, जैसे हम अपना स्ट्रेटजी लगाएंगे you will come to notice it will going to become more easy. Like now this is the answer framework for using this question. For example फिक्की ट्रिक हम इसमें लगा रहे हैं. पहली वाली जो ट्रिक हमने समझाई थी, दैट ट्रिक आई एम गोइंग टू अप्लाई हियर. सो फर्स्ट इज इंट्रोडक्शन. इंट्रोडक्शन क्या है, फॉर एग्जांपल F4 फंडामेंटल उसका क्या है वो हमको देखना है, इंट्रोडक्शन, डेफिनेशन एंड कंटेक्स्ट. सो डिफाइन फर्स्ट क्या करना है, डिफाइन पार्लियामेंट. पार्लियामेंट कैसे, आर्टिकल नंबर 79. एंड द एग्जीक्यूटिव अकाउंटेबिलिटी बेस्ड ऑन द पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम. तो आप इसमें ऐड कर सकते हो आर्टिकल नंबर 75 के बारे में. यू कैन ऐड अबाउट आर्टिकल नंबर 75 because that is where it is mentioned that the executive they are accountable to the parliament. Mention the principle of separation of power also that you can add in the intro part itself. अब since this is 150 words, so intro should not be more than 30 words. इतने word में आपका हो जाना चाहिए. Then how parliament ensure accountability? I told you have to mention the strength. How parliament hold accountability? First is through legislative oversight. That means parliament scrutinize bills, because bills is introduced by whom? Executive only there, and policies and the governance. Then parliament is having question hour, zero hour, and debates, so direct questioning of the ministers. And third is parliamentary committees are there, in-depth policy evaluations like public account committee, correct? And then motions like no confidence motions, adjournment motions, and cut motions. And through these methods parliament is going to ensure the this accountability of the executive. ये चीज क्लियर हो गई अभी? तो स्ट्रेंथ हमें पता चल गई सारी. फर्स्ट इज लेजिस्लेटिव ओवरसाइट, second is question hour, zero hour debates, and third is parliamentary committees, and next is motions. So अगर आप, if you are able to note down all these things in your class notes, तो आपको और इजी हो जाएगा कि अगर एनी क्वेश्चन इज कमिंग रिलेटेड टू दिस पार्लियामेंट और द एग्जीक्यूटिव, you have to mention the same content only. Little bit question can be go here and there, but answer will remain same only. Now, so this is the first part, that is strength we have covered. Next part क्या आपका? Next part is weakness. मैंने बोला ना, to what extent. यहाँ पे in such questions you have to answer both ways. To what extent? So what is the challenges and weakness? First weakness is dominance of the executive. जो पार्लियामेंट जो पार्लियामेंट है उसमें डोमिनेंस किसका है? एग्जीक्यूटिव का, बिकॉज देयर इज नो सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर कंप्लीटली इन बोथ एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड द लेजिस्लेचर. तो मेजोरिटी जो गवर्नमेंट है ऑफन दे बाईपास द अपोजिशन इजीली, बिकॉज मेजोरिटी ऑफ द मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट दे बिलोंग टू द रूलिंग पार्टी ओनली. उसमें जो 70 मिनिस्टर्स ही होते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली जो पार्लियामेंट है उसमें मैक्सिमम बिलोंग टू द रूलिंग पार्टी, सो मेजोरिटी गवर्नमेंट इज एबल टू बाईपास अपोजिशन इजीली. Second issue क्या है? Frequent disruptions like reduced efficiencies in debates, that is main problem. Anti-defection law issue like MPs जो है they cannot vote against their party, limiting the accountability. I told you this is one big issue that in the parliament system we are facing. And उसके बाद one more problem is ordinance raj. जो ordinance raj में क्या होता है? They bypass the parliament through excessive ordinances. Like they use article number 123, like president bypass the parliament by passing the law through ordinance, and same governor is doing for the state under article number 213. So these are the weaknesses are there: dominance of the executive, frequent disruptions, anti-defection law issue, and then ordinance raj. That is the weakness. So to what extent में this part also we have discussed. उसके बाद कंक्लूजन में क्या होगा? बैलेंस्ड भी होना चाहिए, दैट इज वे फॉरवर्ड. कैसे लिखेंगे? पार्लियामेंट प्ले क्रूशियल रोल. क्या लिखेंगे? पार्लियामेंट प्ले क्रूशियल रोल, but structural reforms they are needed. We need to strengthen parliamentary committee. I told you lot of times कि when it comes to the parliament most of the time works through the parliamentary committees only. So we have to strengthen this parliamentary committees, improving the MP, that is member of parliament's autonomy, because this autonomy has got affected because of this anti-defection law only. And curbing excessive ordinance use can enhance the accountability. That is what conclusion we can write the answer. I hope it is clear now. Okay, so this question is not that difficult. If you know that trick, easily you can answer. So first is उस body के बारे में लिखना है, then उसके first functions क्या है, then what are the challenges are there, then what is the reform you can give, then you can write the answer easily. So I hope it is clear. जैसे for example कैसे लिखना है आपको? इंट्रो जैसे हम लिखवा दे रहे हैं इंट्रो. सो इंडियाज पार्लियामेंट्री डेमोक्रेसी अंडर आर्टिकल नंबर 79, executive is accountable to the parliament. So यहाँ पे for example you can mention like India's parliamentary democracy. Here you can, the executive is accountable to the parliament. Here you can write article number 75, ensuring governance remains transparent and democratic. How parliament ensure accountability? You can write legislative oversight, that is parliamentary approves law and scrutinize policies. See, whenever the question is about only 150 words, so you should not write big paragraphs, because 150 words में big paragraphs लिखना थोड़ा difficult है. So you are going to consume lot of time to write only one particular dimensions, and you are going to write lot of paragraphs. So write in very short sentences. Question hour, 0 hour, ministers answer queries, ensures transparency. Then parliamentary committees, public account committee, estimate committee, evaluate governance. And then motion, no confidence motion, adjournment motion, force accountability. challenges का executive dominance, strong majorities, reduce debate effectiveness, frequent disruptions, limit productive discussions, ordinance raj bypassing partisan, whip system and anti-defection law, limit MPs independent. कंक्लूजन में वाइट पार्लियामेंट प्ले वाइटल वर्ड, देखो कितना 150 वर्ड्स में कंप्लीट हो गया ये क्वेश्चन, ज्यादा इसमें वर्ड नहीं हो गया, अगर आप काउंट भी कर लो 150 वर्ड्स ही होंगे और उससे कम ही कर लो। जैसे वर्ड देख लेते हैं 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 में हमने कर दिया, 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 ओके 39 40 तक हमने सब सपोज वहां से 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 यहीं पे आ गए। अब देन यहाँ पे 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 60 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 8 80 18 90 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 and then come 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, मतलब हमने ये क्वेश्चन पूरा 112 वर्ड्स में खत्म कर दिया है। सब सोचो 112 वर्ड्स में आप इसमें एक दो एग्जांपल्स और गेट कर देना, इफ यू ऐड वन टू एग्जांपल्स then automatically become 150 words. This is how you have to write answer, correct? So you should not exceed this word limit more than 150. कोशिश करो आपका जो आंसर है that should end actually in 140 words only, so that you can save that 10 words so that you can complete entire answer. So why this approach works? Because it is going to cover all aspects of concisely, balance, strength, use keyword and articles and follow UPSC answer structure easily. Now next question आपकी बार है 250 वर्ड्स का, कितने का 250 वर्ड्स का क्वेश्चन है, तो करेक्ट 250 वर्ड्स का। इफ यू रीड दैट क्वेश्चन, डू डिपार्टमेंट रिलेटेड पार्लियामेंट्री स्टैंडिंग कमेटी, क्या है ये डिपार्टमेंट रिलेटेड स्टैंडिंग ओके कमेटीज है। इफ यू ऑलरेडी फॉलो द क्लास, तो क्लास नोट्स में आपने देखा होगा, बट इट इज अबाउट द डिपार्टमेंटल रिलेटेड स्टैंडिंग कमेटीज। जैसे देयर इज 24 डिपार्टमेंटल रिलेटेड पार्लियामेंट स्टैंडिंग कमेटीज आर देयर। So do these committees keep the administration on its toes and inspire reverence for parliamentary control? Evaluate the working of such committees with suitable examples. So यहाँ पे जो क्वेश्चन आया है, in this question, this is a 2021 क्वेश्चन। कौन सा क्वेश्चन है? This question is about 2021 का है और ये क्वेश्चन कितने का 15 मार्क्स का है एंड 250 वर्ड्स है। तो इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने के लिए हाउ मच मिनट्स रिक्वायर, 11 मिनट्स है, लेकिन सिंस आप अभी बिगिनर हो, सो यू कैन टेक मैक्सिमम 14 मिनट टू राइट दिस क्वेश्चन। इन दिस 14 मिनट आप 3 मिनट टू थिंक कर लो एंड 11 मिनट टू राइट, इतना कर सकते हो अभी, ठीक है। अब इन दिस क्वेश्चन में देखना क्या लिखा है, इवेल्युएट लिखा है। द वर्ड दैट आई हैव मेंशन इवेल्युएट, दैट मींस यू हैव टू असेस बोथ इफेक्टिवनेस एंड द लिमिटेशंस। क्या है इवेल्युएट? अगर मैं फॉर इवेल्युएट मतलब क्या होता है, लाइक एग्जांपल इफ आई टेल यू इवेल्युएट ओके अबाउट दिस रिमोट, अगर मैं क्वेश्चन के इवेल्युएट अबाउट दिस रिमोट, तो आई नीड टू टेल about the pro of that remote and the cons of the remote. Same way if someone is asking evaluate the this mobile, okay, so you are going to write pro of that mobile, like example you are going to write ki ha screen is better, camera quality is better, okay, and then weakness may you are going to tell like the battery is not that great or something, you are going to tell this way only. So that is what evaluate here means is, so that you have to answer over here कि evaluate the working of such committee, such committee मतलब departmental committees with suitable examples। आपको examples भी देने, you have to write the example, that is importance, that is important है। question is about 2021 only। so first we need to understand the question क्या है, directive words में क्या है evaluate। if you already attended first session of this impact classes, then evaluate में हमने समझाया था, evaluate means होता है you need to assess both effectiveness and the limitations। क्या है कि इसका effectiveness, that means departmental related standing committees they were effective basically, okay, to make administration accountable, but there are limitations also, that is evaluate। key themes क्या है, do these committees ensure accountability of administration, एक ही आंसर करना है, do these committees। second is how they strengthen parliamentary control, correct, and third is what are their challenges are there, and fourth is example of their impact। if you break this entire questions in these four parts then you can answer easily। कैसे four parts में, Do these committees ensure accountability of administration? ये करना है. Second is how do they strengthen parliamentary control? That you have to answer. And third is what are their challenges? That you have to answer an example of their impact. And word limit is 250 है. So in that way you have to answer. So I think now the question is clear to everyone. आपको क्या करना है कि विदाउट ओके यू हैव टू पॉज दिस वीडियो एंड देन यू हैव टू ट्राई टू राइट द आंसर. क्या करना है? यू हैव टू पॉज द वीडियो एंड ट्राई टू राइट द आंसर. आंसर मतलब नॉट इन दैट स्ट्रक्चर्ड फैशन में, एटलीस्ट जो भी आपके मन में वॉट एवर कमिंग इन योर माइंड फॉर द कंटेंट, जब उसको अपने पेज में स्क्रिबल करो, लिख लो, सो दैट व्हेन एवर आई एम गोइंग टू टेल ओवर हियर यू हैव टू मैच कि whether you are able to recollect that content or not, whether you are able to recollect whatever you studied or not, that is also important. Because अगर वो सब नहीं है ना, then what is the purpose of these classes? That is not no use basically, correct? So here comes the answer framework. Here is like first is introduction, define and contextualize. I told you. So introduction में आपका first you have to define departmental related standing committees के बारे में. Then you have to mention their role in legislative scrutiny, that because they were introduced in 1993, and emphasize the importance and democracy. That is the first part, introduction. कि वो committees क्या हैं, what is the role of that committees are, and then how they ensure accountability. Next is effectiveness. आपको बताना है effectiveness कैसे बताना है. Detailed examination of policies. I told you कि जब भी for example any bill, any law they discuss in the parliament, especially bill, before passing that bill they used to forward to the various departmental standing related committees, and these committees basically goes through thoroughly regarding that particular bill, and then they give some recommendations to the parliament, and then only parliament actually enact that particular law. So that is what is detailed examination of policy, that is in-depth study of bills, budgets and policy that is done. Even during budget also I told you some holidays will be given like 15 to 16 days, and then that budget is discussed by different departmental standing related committees. That is the first part, first okay thing they do. Second is pre-legislative scrutiny, that I told you they examine law before they are passed, like data protection bill. Bipartisan nature because they includes MPs from all parties, reducing the political bias also. And direct ministerial accountability because ministers must explain policies before the committees, and the जो ministers are they are not the part of that committee. And examples में आप लिख सकते हो जो DRSC है, Departmental Standing Committee on Finance, they reviewed demonetization impact. They reviewed on IT, examined data privacy and Pegasus spyware issues. All these things have been done through examples. So the question is you have to give the examples also, that examples I have given you here. Clear? So these are the basically effectiveness. But I told you ऐसा तो नहीं अच्छी अच्छी बातें हो रही है. Now negative side because evaluate में क्या है आपको weakness भी दिखाना है. तो weakness क्या होगा? Weakness ये non binding in nature. That means non binding मतलब first problem वही है कि whatever the recommendations they are going to give, these recommendations they are not mandatory in nature also. Then limited transparency because reports are not made public, correct? Limited transparency in the sense because whatever the reports they are not available to the public, and then government's reluctance also. Sometimes the executive they avoid the detailed scrutiny also, they do not implement whatever recommendations have been given by these committees. And low attendance and political bias. कैसे हो गया ये? Many MPs they fail to attend these meetings regularly, even though यहाँ पे the MPs belongs to different political parties, will be the part of the departmental standing committees, but still actually the majority of the MPs they definitely will belong to the ruling party only. So again same problem will happen over here. अब कंक्लूजन में आपको क्या करना है, बैलेंस रिव्यू करना है. दैट मींस दे आर वाइटल फॉर डेमोक्रेटिक ओवरसाइट बट रिफॉर्म नीडेड. दे आर वाइटल फॉर डेमोक्रेटिक ओवरसाइट बट वी नीड द रिफॉर्म, करेक्ट. रिकमेंडेशन शुड बी मेड बाइंडिंग इन की एरियाज, करेक्ट. सम ऑफ द एरियाज में जहां रिकमेंडेशन शुड बी बाइंडिंग ओनली, एंड इंक्रीज पब्लिक एक्सेस टू रिपोर्ट्स एंड रिड्यूस पॉलिटिकल interference. That you can write in the conclusion part. I hope it is clear now. So again it is easy question only. So जब first time आप देखोगे then it looks like the question is difficult, but this is not that difficult question, is it is easy question. Now final answer वही है जैसे हमने बताया था, सीधा आप लिख सकते हो. जैसे for example departmental committees they are introduced in 1993, they play a key role in the oversight of policy evolutions, they ensure ministerial accountability and keep executive actions in check. How they ensure, I told you all these examples you have to tell. देन अलग से आपको एग्जांपल्स दिख रहे हैं, जैसे कि एग्जांपल्स लिखा हुआ है, सेम यू हैव टू राइट द एग्जांपल्स, करेक्ट. यू कैन पॉज द वीडियो एंड देन यू कैन लुक ओके थ्रू दिस स्क्रीन, करेक्ट. एंड चैलेंजेस में सेम वे, लाइक दिस इज द चैलेंजेस हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किए. So why this approach is good? I told you balanced approach है, pro and cons have been, relevant examples are there, structured in UPSC friendly format only. So यहाँ पे आपको examples थोड़े 2-3 extra current affairs से आएंगे, then you can add in these examples also. I think question is done. Next question is, the duty of the CAG is not merely to ensure the legality of expenditure but also its propriety. Comment. This question was asked in last year only 2024. कब आया था ये question? This question was asked in 2024 and total words were 150 words and total marks were 10 marks only. Correct? This was the question. So again, this is all about body only. CAG. अभी तक जो 2 questions हमने discussed, they were about the parliament, parliamentary committees. The third question is about another body that is called as CAG. Correct? So question is comment इसमें पूछा, what is the word is comment has been given. So comment में क्या है, first you have to explain the CAG role and then both aspect, that means legality as well as proprietary. Legality simple means क्या होता है कि it basically ensure that law has been followed or not. Proprietary means होता है efficiency and effectiveness, that also should be followed. कि जैसे for example कि when I say law is followed or not, it simply means that whether parliament has authorized the body, that whether parliament has authorized the executive, okay, to spend the money or not. So answer is yes, parliament has authorized the executive to spend the money. So then legality has been checked. Then come to the propriety. Propriety means क्या होता है कि for example the same money they are spending, the outcome is less, but if they are finding any other alternative and they spend the same money, then outcome will be much better than earlier approach. That is called as propriety. That is what here they have want to ask कि जो ड्यूटी और जो CAG है, इसका सिर्फ ये ड्यूटी नहीं है कि जस्ट लॉ फॉलो करना है, ये भी ड्यूटी है कि प्रोप्राइटरी भी फॉलो करे. दैट मीन्स जो इंपॉर्टेंट फाइनेंस के प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, दैट आल्सो नीड टू बी फॉलोड. दैट मीन्स efficiency, effectiveness, that also need to be followed. ये क्वेश्चन है and question is comment. So first you have to learn the what is the directive words is comment. Comment means explain करना है CAG का role, state both aspects and provide a balanced perspective. So यहाँ पे की थीम में 2 थीम है, एक लीगलिटी एक प्रोप्राइटी, करेक्ट. So legality means क्या होता है, legality ensuring that funds are spent as per the legal provisions. That means parliament, state legislature ने जो भी बोला हो, according to that only you have to spend the money. And propriety means ensuring funds are spent wisely, efficiently and ethically. That is propriety. तो क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो CAG है, CAG is having both roles, legality as well as propriety, that you have to comment. तो आप ये नहीं बोल सकते हो नो CAG has only legal okay duty but not the proprietary duty. CAG must be having both the duty actually. अब जैसे इसका कैसे आंसर लिखेंगे हम, अब in this question we are going to apply second strategy, that is PARC strategy. I told you P means purpose, A means authority, R means relevance and C means conclusion, and that particular okay strategy we are going to follow in this question, correct. So first is strategy is PARC. First is P, that is purpose. So you have to talk about purpose means introduction, definition, role. ये क्या है? तो define CAG, constitutional authority under article number 148. तो जहाँ जहाँ पे article number हो, please add that article number. That has having some extra weightage in UPSC GS paper 2. Explain its role in auditing government finances to ensure accountability and transparency. That is the main introduction. उसके बाद है सेकंड पार्ट में क्या है कि इंश्योरिंग लीगलिटी, दैट इज द मेन अनदर वर्क दैट CAG is having primary role. Ensuring the legality, that means check if expenditure follow constitutional provision in the law or not, correct. Then audit union and the state government accounts as per article number 149. Report finding to parliament under article number 151, that is under legality. एंड वहीं फॉर एग्जाम्पल सेकंड जो आएगा प्रोप्राइटरी, उसके अंदर भी कुछ आएगा इंश्योरिंग प्रोप्राइटरी, दैट मींस बिहाइंड लीगल कंप्लायंस ensure public money is spent efficiently, prevent wastage, extravagance, and misutilization of funds. Recent example like CAG audit of various government schemes like Manrega, defense expenditures. Examples also you have to quote. And then challenges in the CAG role. They lack enforcement because they can only recommend, it is not binding over the government. Government may ignore report due to political reasons also. That is the main issue. Challenges they are facing. And one more challenges they are facing, basically politicizations, because before submitting to the parliament that they used to leak that information, someone definitely कोई भी होगा, and because of it lead to the politicization, then क्या होता है कि जो गवर्नमेंट होता है, गवर्नमेंट stop taking them seriously. Then conclusion way forward में आप लिखते हो CAG's role must be strengthened for greater financial discipline. आप बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर का कोट दे सकते हो यहाँ पे कि this is the most important body in the constitution because it is basically the guardian of the public exchequer, and need for real time auditing mechanisms to prevent fund management, because यहाँ पे challenge क्या लिखते हो, challenge वही है कि whatever the recommendations they will, it is a post mortem in nature only, because when already fund has been used, okay, and then only they are taking to, they are going to tell. So we not able to stop the misutilization of fund before only. That is next thing you can write over there in this particular answer. सो आप कैसे लिखोगे, फॉर एग्जाम्पल फर्स्ट इंट्रो आपने लिख दिया, सेकंड इंश्योर लीगलिटी ये लिख दिया, एंड देन इंश्योर प्रोप्राइटरी दैट यू हैव मेंशन दिस आल्सो, एंड challenges, some of the challenges you can add over there, and then conclusion. I hope now you can, for example this is the question 150 words में आंसर लिखेंगे, not 250 words, 150 words only. So you can stop this, pause this video, और ये सारा आप अपने कॉपी में नोट कर सकते हो. You can note, you can take the screenshot also of that particular, अगर if you want to take. So this is the first intro, then body का first part, body का second part, and then body का third part challenges, and then way forward में you can write the answer. This is the conclusion. Clear? Why this approach basically important है, because आपने different articles use किए, like article number 148, 149, 151 include examples आपने किए हैं, and short and structural approach है, that is ideal for 10 mark questions. Then question number 4. I hope you are able to follow this all. So question number 4 here it is. Indian Constitution has provisions basically for holding joint session of the two houses. क्या है? Two houses of the parliament. Enumerate the occasions when this would normally happen, and also occasion when it cannot happen with reason thereof. बहुत easy question. It is not that difficult. अगर आपने normally classes attend किया है, then it will not be that difficult. इसमें ये लिखा है कि जो ज्वाइंट सेशन होता है, ज्वाइंट जिसमें लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा दे सिट टुगेदर, ये कब कब हो सकता है, व्हाट इज द ओकेजन जहां पे दिस कैन बी पॉसिबल. मैंने आपको बताया था when the two houses they agree to remain disagree, 6 months have been passed and second house has not taken any decisions, correct? So these are the situations jahan pe for example we can have this joint session, and what are those situations jahan pe this joint session is not possible, like in constitutional amendment bill it is not possible, in money bill joint session is not possible, correct? That is you have to answer is, and this is about 250 words में 15 marker है, question came in 2017, and question is about enumerate. क्या है यहाँ पे लिखा है? Enumerate. Enumerate means list बताना है आपको, correct? That means clearly list down. Enumerate simply means that clearly list down the provisions, the occasions, and the exceptions in a structured manner. Clear है कि नहीं? That is the main directive words is enumerate. See, अगर illustrate होता तो you have to give examples. Enumerate है, then clearly you have to list down now. So just read this question again, whether you are able to recollect that content that is required for this particular question. Now इसकी key themes क्या है? Easy है. When does a joint session take place? That you have to tell. When cannot it happen and why? That you have to tell. Correct? Word limit 250 है. अब इसमें जैसे intro क्या है? इंट्रो In total, you have to define and contextualize. You have to follow PARC approach also. That means first is purpose. So define joint session. So joint session is mentioned under article number 108. Correct? ये important है. This you have to remember always. Article number 108. It talks about the joint session. और joint session होता क्या है? When both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha they sit together, explain why it is needed to resolve the legislative deadlock between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Correct? That is joint session. अब when joint session is convened, कब होता है ये? So article 10 will allow joint session if a bill is rejected by one house after being passed by other house. This is the first time. Second is when more than 6 months have been passed and bill sent to the other house and other house has not taken any actions. Third is when president, okay, or one house refuses to take any actions on the other house, that is third ये हो गया. करेक्ट है, तीन हो गए इसमें. और भी रीजन है, लाइक प्रेसिडेंट भी कन्वर्ट करता है, प्रेसिडेंट ओवर बाय लोकसभा एंड स्पीकर. करेक्ट है, दैट इज ऑल्सो. सो ज्वाइंट सेशन और कब होता है? लाइक व्हेन वी पास द बेसिकली बजट होता है तो साथ में आ जाते हैं, या फॉर एग्जाम्पल हेड ऑफ द स्टेट कोई अदर कंट्री से आता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल when they visit India and we will give them also opportunity to talk to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha together, then also we convey the together house. But उसके लिए कोई article number has not been dedicated. Constitution में बस इतना ही article number दिया है, but there is no other part is there. So it is conveyed by president, basically presided over by Lok Sabha speaker. तो कौन करता है? President बोलता है, and this presided by always the Lok Sabha speaker. I told you. And rule किसका follow होगा इसमें? Only Lok Sabha rules will going to be followed, not the Rajya Sabha rules. Correct? Now, next is cases where joint session has happened. Examples दे दो आप. जैसे Dowry Prohibitions Act 1961, it has taken place. Banking Service Commission Repeal Bill 1977, then it has been taken place. And Prevention of Terrorism Act Quota 2002, then also it has been taken place. That is the examples you can give. अब ये हो गया आपका एक part solve. Second part is when joint session cannot happen, that is exceptions. I told you constitutional amendment bill जो article number 36 होता है, that needs separate approval by each houses. That means both houses should not come together and they pass it, because if they coming together and then they are amending the constitution, then Lok Sabha will having more authority, because Lok Sabha is having 543 members and Rajya Sabha is having 240. For example, 245 members only. If all the 245 members is against that amendment and Lok Sabha is supporting that amendment, definitely Lok Sabha जो होगा, they can overpower, they can override the Rajya Sabha power. And because of that reason is, for example, and we have not given this power, okay, for the joint session. यहाँ पे हमने बोला है कि we need to separate both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha separately only, because Rajya Sabha जो है, it basically represent the interest of the state, correct or not? So because of that reason also, this is not actually done in case of constitutional amendment bill. You can write this. Money bill, Rajya Sabha cannot reject, only delayed, because delay for how many days? Only 14 days. Because money bill एक बहुत important money matter है, and जो Rajya Sabha है, Rajya Sabha is not elected basically directly by the people, but Lok Sabha elected directly by the people only. They are responsible to the people directly, correct or not? So because of that, and one more, the Council of Ministers है, they are also responsible. We are only the Lok Sabha only. So in money matter also we have given more power to the Lok Sabha only. So that is again यहाँ पे case है जहाँ पे joint session is not possible. These are the two situations that you can write basically. Conclusion, way forward में आप क्या लिखो? Joint session they are rarely used, but they remain a powerful legislative tool. Stronger parliamentary debate and opposition's consensus can reduce legislative debates. Correct? So ये आपका मॉडल आंसर हमने थोड़ा सा दे दिया है. For example, how you can write. Clear? You can take a screenshot or photo also. So you can mention in the notes. Introduction आपको लिखना है. Then when it is take place, examples, and then when it cannot taken place. So examples उसमें भी देना है, और क्यों नहीं होता है वो भी आप लिख सकते हो. यहाँ पे you can write why not in constitutional amendment bill. I told you because Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha should have equal power in case of constitutional amendment bill, and because Rajya Sabha also represent the interest of the state. Because of that reason, if they come together, then definitely Lok Sabha can override the authority of the Rajya Sabha. So because of that, we have not given. Money bill, I told you, because Council of Ministers they are responsible to the Lok Sabha only. Because of that, more power regarding money bill we have given to the Lok Sabha only. So know this. That is how you can write. Then conclusion, answer is done. अब ये क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट था? बिकॉज इंट्रोडक्शन, प्रोविजन हमने सब लगा, क्लियर लिस्टिंग, इनुमरेट डायरेक्टिव फॉलोइंग प्रॉपर्ली, यूज ऑफ रिलेवेंस आर्टिकल्स लाइक 108, 110, 117, 368, वो सारा आर्टिकल नंबर ऑल्सो हमने ऐड किया है. सो प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट टू मेंशन दोस आर्टिकल नंबर्स ऑल्सो इफ यू वांट टू गेट सम एक्स्ट्रा 1 or 2 marks. Now question number 5, correct? So question number 5 is about, again यहाँ पे भी हम लोग वही अप्रोच फॉलो कर सकते हैं. We can follow the same approach here. Is question number 5 is analyze the role of local bodies in providing good governance at the local level and bring out the pro and cons of merging rural local bodies with urban local bodies. And this question was asked basically in UPSC last year only, previous year 2024. So see, by this impact classes you are able to solve most of the previous year questions. Okay, like example 2024 also हम solve कर रहे हैं. 2024 का I think this is third question we are solving already, third or fourth question, because previous classes में I think we have discussed around 2-3 questions and this year I think we are discussing again second question. तो 4 to 5 तो आपके हो ही गए यहाँ पे previous year के भी. यहाँ पे क्या है, एनालाइज करना है. एनालाइज मींस क्या होता है कि जितना ये क्वेश्चन दिया गया यू हैव टू ब्रेक डाउन, ओके, एंड देन यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग. दैट इज एनालाइज. रोल ऑफ लोकल बॉडीज इन प्रोवाइडिंग गुड गवर्नेंस एट द लोकल लेवल, करेक्ट. एक तो ये पार्ट हो गया कि व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ लोकल बॉडीज, क्या है फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द लोकल बॉडीज, दैट यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन. रिगार्डिंग कैसा, फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग गुड गवर्नेंस एट द लोकल लेवल, ये बताना है. फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है इसका कि what is the function, what is the role of local bodies in providing good governance, कहाँ पे at the local level. यहाँ पे local bodies में क्या है, यहाँ पे पंचायत प्लस municipalities both are included. आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ rural body में फोकस मत करना, have to focus both. Then bring out pro and cons of merging both rural and urban local bodies. That means ये बोल रहे हैं कि if we merge this जिला पंचायत and municipalities or for example rural local bodies पंचायत और for example पंचायत समिति, और इनको मर्ज कर देंगे इसके साथ म्युनिसिपैलिटी से, then what can be the pro, that is advantage, and what can be the disadvantage of it, that you have to tell. This was the answer question basically. I hope you understand the question. Correct. It's easy or difficult? It's easy question basically. Now तो first you have to understand the question. What is the directive words? Analyze करना है. Analyze में आपको क्या करना है, break down the role of the local bodies. I told you, explaining their functions and the significance, how they are bringing good governance at the local level. And second question was bring out pro and cons. That means it asks about list the advantage and disadvantage of merging rural local bodies. That is the first step one, understand. Now PRC approach हमको लेना है, simple वही, P for purpose, that is introduction, easy है. Same approach we are going to follow is P for purpose. Define local bodies as panchayati raj institutions, PRI and urban local bodies under 73rd and 74th amendment. ये करना है. Highlight their role in grassroots governance, democracy or decentralized democracy. ये करना है. Then authorities functions क्या है? I told you. पंचायत handle rural development like roads, sanitation and drinking water. तो इसके थ्रू गवर्नेंस आता है. अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज जो है, देखो मैंने बोला ना, यू हैव टू आंसर बोथ रूरल एंड अर्बन बोथ, करेक्ट. अर्बन बॉडीज दे मैनेज अर्बन प्लानिंग, waste management and transport, and both ensure participatory governance and accountability. That is what first part हमने डिस्कस किया. क्या है फर्स्ट पार्ट, इसको थोड़ा डिटेल में कर सकते हो. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट को डिस्कस हो गया यहाँ पे. सेकंड पार्ट है ब्रिंग आउट द प्रो एंड कॉन्स ऑफ मर्जिंग. तो सेकंड पार्ट हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे अभी. सेकंड पार्ट है प्रो ऑफ मर्जर. अगर दोनों को मर्ज कर दिया व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट, इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट प्लानिंग हो जाएगा, क्योंकि वो पर्टिकुलर जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट होगा, फॉर एग्जांपल एनी पर्टिकुलर डिस्ट्रिक्ट इज देयर, इन दिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट दिस पार्ट इज रूरल एंड दिस पार्ट इज अर्बन, करेक्ट. अब यहाँ पे एक बॉडी रूरल में है, एक बॉडी अर्बन में, अब बोथ आर मर्ज टुगेदर, देन दे कैन प्रोवाइड टुगेदर इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट प्लानिंग आल्सो. बेटर रिसोर्स एलोकेशन इज पॉसिबल एंड रिडक्शन इन डुप्लीकेशन ऑफ एफर्ट. ऐसा ना हो कि फॉर एग्जांपल एक रोड बन रहा है, अर्बन वाले ने यहाँ तक बना दिया रोड एंड देन स्टॉप बिकॉज दिस इज अनदर बॉडी. If they are having same body, then this road can go this way also. So duplication effort नहीं हो पाएगा. But इसके cons क्या है? Cons ये loss of rural autonomy. The rural bodies they will lose their autonomy also because majority of the money कहाँ पे सबसे urban के पास है. So they will have more power. They are going to override one size fits all approach may fail also, and urban centric policies may dominate. I told you कि जो urban centric जो है ना policies, they may dominate because उनको लगेगा कि most of the revenue are getting from the urban area only, so they will start concentrating, they will start working for more urban bodies, urban areas, not for the rural areas. This is the main issue. Conclusion में आप क्या लिखोगे? Conclusion: a balanced approach is needed, cooperative governance model, not outright merger. क्या हमको चाहिए? cooperative governance model चाहिए. Strengthening decentralization is key to better governance, that you can write actually in such answers. Clear? सो आप देखो इंट्रो यहाँ पे आपने लिख दिया, सिंपल इंट्रो लिख दो, कोई ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. उसके बाद सब लिख दिया. लोकल बॉडीज दे फोकस ऑन एग्रीकल्चर, हेल्थ, सैनिटेशन, अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज. देन रोल ऑफ लोकल बॉडीज इन गवर्नेंस आप लिख सकते हो, पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, ग्रास रूट लेवल, डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड डिसीजन मेकिंग, सिटीजन पार्टिसिपेशन एंड एफिशिएंट सर्विस लेजिस्लेशन, दैट दे कैन डू इट. करेक्ट. उसके बाद प्रो एंड कॉन्स ऑफ मर्जिंग, आल्सो प्रो देन कॉन्स, यू कैन गिव सम एग्जांपल्स आल्सो. देन you definitely, if 250 words are there, you can give more examples. If 250 words are not required, then to the point you can give answer. See यहाँ पे I am not writing big paragraphs over here. And then it is the conclusion part. Easily you can answer now. Next question is sixth question. This is the last question for today's session. This question asked in 2023. कब आया था ये क्वेश्चन? 2023 में आया था. Discuss the role of presiding officers of state legislature. State legislature में जो होता है लोग, that is विधान सभा एंड विधान परिषद, तो जो उनके प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर होते हैं, जैसे विधान परिषद स्पीकर होगा, विधान सभा प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर विल बी स्पीकर, एंड विधान परिषद प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर विल बी चेयरमैन. Discuss the role of those officers in maintaining order and partiality, in conducting legislative work and in facilitating best democratic practices. क्वेश्चन कितने आंसर करना? 150 वर्ड्स में. टोटल मार्क्स रिक आउट 10 एंड क्वेश्चन वाज आस्क्ड इन 2023 में आया था, लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर बेसिकली. देखो अब इसमें मैं डिस्कस करना है. वन थिंग इंपॉर्टेंट वी फॉलो, इट इज नॉट दैट डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन. सेम पॉलिसी फॉलो करना है. डिस्कस द रोल ऑफ प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर, पीआरसी स्ट्रेटजी इफ यू फॉलो, व्हाट इज द रोल, पर्पस ऑफ द प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर, वो लिखना है. एंड देन what is the function of the presiding officer, that you have to mention. First आपको इसका intro बताना है, ये presiding officer कौन है, then what is the function they are having, correct, and then what are relevance or challenge they are facing, and then conclusion. Simple. discuss करना है. easy है कि नहीं? like discuss का मतलब क्या होता है? it simply means require detailed explanation. discuss means require detailed explanation. See, through these classes you are able to understand directive words also very much, correct? So that is the reason you have to keep following these classes till the end, because अब इसका जो directive words है उसका real application you will learn easily from here itself. So discuss पूछा है. discuss means क्या होता है? required a detailed explanation of how presiding officer, their function, their responsibility and their impact on democracy. That is the question. Clear है कि नहीं? तो question is all about this कि require a detailed explanation of how presiding officer, their function and their responsibility, their impact on democracy. अब यहाँ पे PRC approach we can apply. PRC component में first component क्या है? Purpose, correct? तो first component आपके पास है purpose. तो purpose क्या है? Define presiding officers as speaker, assembly के लिए, chairperson, council के लिए, who uphold parliamentary discipline and maintain neutrality. See, even though you have not gone through the presiding officer chapters regarding the state legislature, if you know about the speaker and chairman regarding Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, then also you can answer it easily. क्योंकि दोनों का वर्क लगभग सेम है. So that is the purpose of introduction. Then authority, A, ensure order in the house. Yes, ensure order in the house. Regulate debate and discussions. They interpret rule of procedures. They act as a neutral referee. This is the main function there. I mean, one or two functions extra also you can add. रिगार्डिंग फॉर एग्जांपल जो कमेटीज होती है, जैसे पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटीज, उनका जो चेयरमैन है, अपॉइंटमेंट, दैट आल्सो दे सिलेक्ट बेसिकली. और किसको अलाउ करना है टू प्रेजेंट इन द हाउस, किसको अलाउ नहीं करना है, एवरीथिंग विल डिसाइड बाय देम ओनली. एंड देन रिलेवेंस क्या है उनका, चैलेंजेस, सिग्निफिकेंस एंड डेमोक्रेसी, उनका जो इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है, दे प्रिवेंट डिसरप्शंस एंड बाइस, दे अपहोल्ड फ्री एंड फेयर डिबेट. बट चैलेंजेस भी है. चैलेंजेस क्या है? चैलेंजेस ये उनका, for example, what are the challenges they are facing is political influence may erode impartiality. This first challenge. frequent suspensions of MLA affecting democratic discourse. Again यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना, I have added MLA. अब don't forget, आप you should not write MPs because ये question किसका था? For state legislature, presiding officer of the state legislature. That is the reason most of the examples should come through MLA only. Frequent suspension of MLA, they affecting the democratic discourse also. Conclusion: strict adherence to neutrality is needed, and reform in anti-defection law to empower the speaker. That is what you can write easily. That is the answer for this. For example, this is the question. Introduction आपने दिया. Presiding officer, the state legislature, speaker and the chairman, they play crucial role in ensuring order and neutrality. Role in legislative work, maintaining order, they controlling debates, ensuring discipline, simple regulatory proceedings, the interpretation of law and rules procedures there, because they are the final interpretation, okay, of the constitution also within the wall of the state legislatures. Ensuring democratic practices, because they provide an unbiased platform for discussions, they give the chances to members to speak, correct. And then for example, challenges क्या है? Political pressure on the speaker, because speaker belongs to the ruling party only. Bias and disqualification decisions under anti-defection law also, sometimes they take decisions when it comes to the opposition party, but ruling party के time में they never take decisions easily. So that is 10th schedule. Frequent disruptions reducing legislative efficiency, that you can write. Then way forward also you can write, then you can write easily the answer. This was the last questions for today's, basically clear. This was the question and we have done it now. So this is the last question. This was the last question, number 6. So I think total in polity till now I have discussed 6 ये पढ़ लिए, 5 earlier I think we have covered, 11 plus 2 already first class में we have covered, 11 plus 2 total 13 questions already we have discussed in the polity only, 13. अभी भी हमारा एक और क्लास बाकी है, one more class I am having regarding the polity. So next class में हम लोग polity के few 5 और 6 और questions पढ़ेंगे. So already I think कितना 13 क्वेश्चंस हमने कर लिया है. तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में आई विल ट्राई टू फिनिश एटलीस्ट 6-7 क्वेश्चंस अगेन. सो एटलीस्ट 20 क्वेश्चंस प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स I would have covered and already strategy बताएंगे. So this strategy is work basically on parliament chapters. This strategy work for the CAG, constitutional bodies, statutory bodies, and every time में ये particular strategy work करेगी आपकी. But आपका यही काम है, you have to go through the classes properly. और जो भी questions हो, please try to write answers also. Clear? Okay, thank you.